Good morning, students. As we had already started the decline of the Mughal Empire, we had already done few topics which were done. So let us do a revision from the previous topic, and then we will come back to the new topics. So first, let us start the period of transition. So what do you know about the period of transition? The transition from medieval to modern period began with the decline of the Mughal Empire in the first half of the 18th century. This was followed by the English East India Company, territorial conquest, and the beginning of the new invasions, the new regions, new dimensions. This was followed by English East India Company's territorial conquest of India in the middle of the 18th century. The modern period in India is generally regarded as having begun in the mid 18th century. So we have already discussed this. So during the first half of 18th century, the great Mughal empire decayed and disintegrated. The Mughal emperor lost their power and glory, and their vast empire finally shrank to a few square miles only. Now, during this time, the Mughal Empire lost the power and glory, and the vast empire shrank into few square miles. The unity and stability of Mughal Empire was also disturbed as the nobles started to fight within themselves. Now, during this time, Aurangzeb's long reign, about 50 years, the death of Aurangzeb, the last of the great Mughals, was followed by a war of succession among his three sons. That was Bahadur Shah, who eventually ascended the throne in 1707 at the age of 65. He became the first in a line of emperors referred to as the later Mughals. The later Mughals listed there, you can read it: Bahadur Shah, Jahandar Shah, Farrukh Shah. No need to learn it, read it. Reasons for decline of the Mughal Empire. There are several factors which were responsible for disintegration and eventual collapse of the once powerful and mighty Mughal Empire. What was that? What were the reasons? The reasons for politics in the Mughal court. In that, there were four groups of nobles in the Mughal court. Those were Iranis, Turanis, Afghans, and Hindustanis. The Iranis hailed from Persia, the Turanis from Tanzania, and Afghans came from mountainous border regions across river Indus. The Mughal court was the house of sharply divided from within, as it has already broken. The nobles who were actually administering the empire had divided the empire within itself. This resulted in constant struggle for war among these groups. Their mutual jealousies, rivalries caused great harm to the Mughal administration and undermined the prestige and authority of the Mughal emperor. Now, Jagirdari crisis. In addition to the competition for the political and power and influence, there was a scramble for the best and the most profitable Jagirs among rival nobles. The Mughal officers were given Jagirs as payments for their services towards the end of 17th century, and there were very few Jagirs left out in the nation, the empire. Now, how to satisfy these nobles? So, the crown lands were also being given to them. This was a great loss to the revenue of the royal treasury and further decline in the power of the emperor. There was weak military organization and administration. To maintain absolute power and control of Mughal army, Akbar had reorganized it on the basis of Mansabdari system. Now, this system, which worked well under Akbar, began to break down towards the end of 17th century. Under this system, Mansabdars had to maintain a fixed number of troops, and they were given Jagirs as the payment of doing so. Later, an increase in the number of Mansabs and a shortage of Jagirs led to the corruption and efficiency in the system. The Mansabdars did not maintain their quota of troops and adopted corrupt methods. This led to the decline of the military strength of the Mughal Empire. The Mughal army also failed to keep pace with the times. The Mughal rulers did not have a navy and made no efforts to establish one. Their equipments were also very old and it was ineffective. Nothing was done to change it. So everything was very old and it was not given a fine texture to it. Next was War of Succession means what? The death of Mughal ruler was generally followed by the War of Successions. The rival claimants, they started to claim the lands. The civil war started to prove very costly and very dangerous. And the frequent political upheavals, many political problems came in the empire. Aurangzeb's different policies were also there responsible for the decline. What was that? Aurangzeb was not very successful as an emperor. He failed because to realize the progress and stability of such a vast empire, he was an ineffective ruler. He did not understand the main problems, the needs and requirements of the empire. So his policy of religious intolerance shook the foundation of the empire and resulted in the following: the costly, long drawn, and ruinous Deccan campaign, numerous wars with the Sikh and the Marathas, the Jats, and the Rajputs. Loss of the support of the loyal Rajputs, who had earlier contributed greatly to the stability of the Mughal Empire, but now became bitter foes. Okay, so they were now became enemy also. So economic bankruptcy was also one of the cause. A major cause of disintegration of Mughal Empire was economic bankruptcy. Enormous sum of money was sent in Shah Jahan. Magnificent monuments like Taj Mahal had drained the royal treasury. Similarly, Aurangzeb's Deccan campaign was also there responsible. What were the foreign invasions of Nadir Shah, Ahmad Shah Abdali shattered the prestige of the Mughals. Nadir Shah had looted and plundered away Delhi's maximum treasures, carried away valuable treasures including priceless Kohinoor diamond and peacock throne. Ahmad Shah Abdali plundered northern India repeatedly and looted lot of treasure from India. So there were weak successors. Successors mean the persons who were inheriting after the royal kings. The Aurangzeb ruled over a vast empire. He controlled with an iron hand. Successors were very pleasure loving. They did not pay attention to the royal administration. They were inefficient. They were the puppets in the hands of the nobles. They were not doing any work. The nobles, so they used to think that nobles are only maintaining everything. They are doing all the work. So actually the nobles were filling their pockets, nothing else. The provincial governors took advantage of the weak government at the center and set up independent kingdoms in the Mughal provinces. This led to the breakup and collapse of the empire. All the hopes of rivals of the Mughal empire ended with the British and decided to change the authority of the Mughals. They took full advantage of its weaknesses and began to pursue their plan establishing control over India. Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last of the Mughals, assumed leadership of the rebels in the revolt of 1857 against the British. He was defeated and exiled to Rangoon, where he died. The Mughal Empire came to an inglorious end. The Mughal Empire had lasted for over 3 centuries. Its decline in the first half of the 18th century led to intense rivalry among various ambitious powers to fill the political vacuum. The struggle ended with the victory of the British, who would rule India for nearly 200 years. This marked the beginning of the modern period in Indian history. So in this we are ending the discussion explanation of this chapter, and today question answers are also given, short long, so you do it, solve it in your copies, revise it and learn it. We'll discuss with a new chapter in the next class. Thank you.